live now, I'm guessing, and I'm hoping that everyone can see my screen. I'm just checking on my phone at the moment before I actually start that it's all working, because I've done this before and it's ended up turning my screen off. So just check. Let's stop here, turn that off. Go to here, turning my screen off. Right, so we should be able to hear me in the background now. Turning my screen off. Right, so we should be able to hear me in the background now. I'll just wait until I see Visual Studio Code on my phone. So we should be able to hear me in the background now. Super. Just wait until I see Visual Studio. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm guessing you know that my name's David Thorne. In this hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, I don't know. I don't really care how long it's going to take. I'm just going to do it. The aim of this is right, let's go to the GitHub repository first of all. So this is where you're going to find all of the code. At the moment, it is literally empty, all right? And I've just created a GitHub repository, and it's going to be for Node, and it's going to have some stuff in it, which you can then use and actively make a pull request to do this whilst we're doing this, all right? So please feel free to clone it or to fork it and to do a pull request, and we can do this together. And if you've got any quicker, better tips, and then we can do merge requests whilst we're doing this, all right? So this is trying to make this interactive as well. I'm going to do the main bulk of it, but feel free to jump in, all right? Feel free. Anyway, so what is the aim of this? So it's an online CV, so an online portfolio is what I want to do. And so I found this Lebenslauf is in German, is basically your curriculum vitae, your portfolio, and it's a really cool tool that you can use, right? So what my plan is to do right now is to create this here as a HTML template, and we're going to use Netlify, and also we're going to use GitHub, or we can use Node with Typescript to then produce this in HTML, which is then going to post it through Netlify or put it into GitHub, and then with Netlify we're going to build it, and it's going to create your own small profile, an HTML page, and so on. So every single time you commit to your repository, it will be rebuilt, and you'll have an online presence, an online CV, and we're going to try and make it so it's printable as well. But that would do more to the end, that it's going to be kind of printable on say A4 pieces of paper and stuff like that. It's not totally important for the first part, all right? So if you are a beginner in TypeScript and JavaScript, don't worry about this, because we're going to be doing lots of HTML and CSS here. So we're just gonna continue, all right? Right, so I'm in the repository that I've got already. So I'm just going to say npm init, and I'm using Visual Studio Code, and I'm using Ubuntu as well, if you didn't notice. And we're going to call it online CV, yes, version 1, project to create your online portfolio. Entry point, we're going to say source, main, and JS. We'll do tests at the moment. Okay, that's there. Keywords we'll just leave for now. So David Thorne, although that should pick up my GitHub repository on here already. And you can spam the hell out of this email address, I don't care, because it's already spammed. That's my email address, and then we'll put MIT in here. And that's all good. All right, so one thing I know that I am going to want to use is Axios, and we're going to say types Axis, I believe Axis has got its own types as well. So we shouldn't need, and we want to install Typescript as well. That'll do. That's running. I love TypeScript, and I love JavaScript, but I'm not writing JavaScript because there's no point. You can use TypeScript; it's better. So we've created that now. We've created our TypeScript config, and we are going to want in here ES 2000. Oh, we'll just say ES next. First, we want DOM, and we'll just say 2018. Actually, I think we need for a couple of things that I want to use, and the rest will be fine. Well, we're going to say it's going to output ES next because I want the code to be readable for everyone in JavaScript as well. So if I need to explain it, then it will be explained in JavaScript. Let's create a source folder, and this here. So we want index TS initially, and let's start. Yeah, we don't need to really start this running for now, and then we want to create a well, because we're going to have like the node part of it is going to produce our website, right? Which is going to create like a build folder and so on, and it's that build folder that's going to be deployed. So we need to have resources, and in here this is going to be the index.html, and in here it's going to have then CSS, and this is then going to, oops, did I just make a folder then? And then it's going to be CSS, and then layout CSS, and it'll probably will need JavaScript as well. So let's just call it app.js. This would be just any like any JavaScript that it might need to display things nicer, but otherwise it'd be fine. So let's just create this very, very quickly. I'm not monitoring the chat, by the way. All right. So, oh, I can see it. Yeah, there it is. I've just been sleeping for a couple of hours, so I'm not totally awake yet. I had been planning on doing this for a couple of days. Href. I don't write HTML and JavaScript like this anymore. I'm always writing Swift code, so I'm a little bit rusty at this as well. So don't blame me when I go a bit slow. All right, I'm trying to do this just to speed up again, and because I want an online CV, so I'm doing it for me as well. Type is that, and source equals app.js. Seems pretty cool. And so let's put this, and we'll do this. Padding is 0, and margin, don't like this here. If I remember how to do this, size of the, where are you? Project is, oh, that was workspace settings. I want again. Where is it? Open. I forget where it is. Oh, I think it is. Settings. Workspace settings. I'll remember it in a minute. Okay, so it's not totally too important. Let's create that. That's fine. And we're going to, just for the sake of doing this, we'll come in here. we're going to say move into sources, and just to be dirty, we're going to say localhost here as well. Yeah. Give it a title. I'm just setting everything up at the moment, so it's there's going to be this is going to be our page that we're going to be creating our online portfolio, right? And so the resources folder that we got here is the thing where we're going to use it to create our online portfolio. The source is which is going to read all of the JSON files. Sorry, I speak German all day, every day, so I'm sometimes getting mixed up with English and German words. So the source folder is where all of our TypeScript node logic is going to be, which is then going to create and fill in all of our static HTML, because all we're going to be doing is deploying static HTML to our website, right? When you want to make a change to it, you come in your project, add the different information that you want to update, where your employer was and so on, and then add your hobbies, and then push it to your repository, and then Netlify will then update your website automatically. All right, it's with continuous deployment. So if you don't know what continuous deployment is, well, keep watching, you're going to find out. All right. Okay, so now we've got this, let's make sure that our document dot load. Oh dear David. Hello world. Let's refresh you, and we got our hello world there as well. Good. So now we want to make sure that our CSS is all loading as well. We're going to say body background equals, oh dear, it's 1, 2, 2. Yellow. Yeah, I don't really care about it being yellow, but I'm okay. I'm not even going to explain why I did that. All right, so now we've got our online portfolio, right? Let's make sure that our TypeScript is going to get working now as well. So let's open another one, and we're going to say TypeScript -- watch. There's other ways of doing this, but I'm not going to do it. Now we've got our index.html, index.js, which is getting produced. So next task is we want to start creating some structure for this, right? So let's go to our online portfolio. So we've got our personal data here, we've got our work experiences, and we've got all of our job information. So we need to start thinking about how we're going to structure each module. We call them all modules, all right? So we've got work experience, so we've got job, we've got employment history, so this is what we want here as one. And then we've got kind of like tasks, so we want to have the job name here, and then the actual positions that you had there underneath it, so it can come in like an unordered list underneath. So that would be fine. And then your your education and so on. So there we want to have also kind of like the name of the institute that you were at, what was the qualification you got, and possibly any description underneath that you may want to enter yourself. And then also hobbies, skills and qualifications and stuff like that. So we want to be able to we want to know this is going to be pretty dynamic as well. So we're going to be using our JavaScript knowledge of how to do this, right? So let's let's kind of split this into a box, right? We want to have our main header, and then we want to have personal data. So let's make some classes. So we can make header, and I'm not doing all of this header tag. I don't like it. And then we want personal data wrapper. I'm going to copy this because I'm lazy. And then we want work experience. I'm actually not lazy. I just say it. I don't like copying code. I just don't like rewriting code. And then education wrapper. I don't like generally writing. That's why I'm a software developer now, because I don't like writing. I like writing code. Skills and abilities. So we'll just say skills here. Is anyone actually watching this? Probably not. I'm more doing this for me. Well, I always do this for me. I hate this. This is so bad. Can you actually see here? Oh, it says 2 people watching, but I'm kind of guessing maybe that's me on my phone. Anyway, skills wrapper. I'm doing this for me. I want this. So now we've got a header, personal data. Go away. Yep. And so we want a kind of like a title box. So we want like a kind of generic wrapper here as well. Let's do box title. So personal information, and then we'll do work experience. Education, skills and abilities. Skills and abilities. Anyone's got a better idea, please let me know. And then we want to say have inner wrapper. It's going to be generic as well. So let's take this, and I'm making a big mistake here by not. Well, I'm already duplicating code, which I shouldn't be doing. All right, so let's make classes for this. Margin, let's say 20, and border equals 1 pixel solid. That there for the time being. And work experience wrapper can be the same. Probably should have just given these. Let's just call it wrapper for now. Yeah, let's give them all a wrapper. No, let's give them box wrapper. Let's give them all that, and then we can tweak it by ourselves. And yes. All right. Okay, now we just want the title. Box title. Let's copy this. And there. And height equals 40. Font size equals 1.2 inch. Color equals padding. Padding fonts. Family Helvetica. I want. Helvetica. Looks good. color equals 222. So I don't want 222. Yes, I do. I do want 22. Box title. So let's have a look. It's looking better. And we want to have line height, so 37 pixels. Text indent equals 15 pixels. Yeah, I like it. And then what background was that? I don't want to copy it completely because it'd be unfair to them. But it's not. So what color are they using then? What color are you using? Show me, show me. Where are you? What's your color? Kind of guessing that. No. Ah, it's gonna be like, it'll be fine. Background. It's like a kind of light 2-3A. Let's do A. What? I think color text white. Yeah, let's have a look at this. Oh, I think I've got it nearly bang on. I reckon I got it bang on. What an eye, huh? Nearly perfect. Love it. So now we want to have like 2 columns, or we want to have, yeah, exactly. We want to have some columns in here as well. And now, so box type, box class inner wrapper, and this is where I should not duplicate code. And we're going to say then inner left col, and then inner right col, yeah? And I'm only going to do it once on this one for now, until I know it's right. And, whoops, that. In the left call, and I'm going to use div display equals flex. Now I'm probably going to get it wrong the first time, but I need justify. Oh, look at that! Justify content is flex starts. Line items is stretch. Yes, and then flex direction. Yes, yes is row. Yeah, and no. You're doing it wrong, David, already. Inner wrapper. This is inner wrapper, right? And it'll make sense in a second if you don't know what I'm doing. So this is the thing that's then telling them what I want to do. So, and then we've got, okay, just be patient. If you know what I'm doing and I'm doing it wrong, then there's a chat. Right now, we want to say this is now telling outside how we want it, right? 04. And we're going to say background, you're going to be yellow, and right column, we might change the values slightly in a second. And I'm always open for people commenting saying, David, you're completely wrong here. It's all right. But we haven't actually given it any content as of yet. Oh look, but I can see it's working. Look, there it is. Look, let's give it some height in a wrapper. Height, say 100. Whoops. 100 pixels. There we go. Right. I reckon that's probably too much. Like 40% is probably too much. We'll probably go, but I don't care. Right. It looks pretty good. Whoops. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be that. Yeah, we're going to go 30%. But I should be able to do here, just flex 1. this should work still. It does, yeah, all right, because it just says flex 1 just says take up as much room as possible, but this flex here says take up, yeah. So it's like content hugging and so on. It's now we have our box, right? So now what's even easier is that we now just need to do like columns in this, and yeah, let's remove this. Don't need that anymore. So now we just need to do rows here. Here. Now we have our columns. Now we just need to do rows. But essentially, actually, yeah. Okay, so these inner wrappers, they can have more than one inner wrapper. So that's an inner wrapper. So name, Max Muster is an inner wrapper. The address here is an inner wrapper, inner wrapper, inner wrapper, inner wrapper. So we can start. So inner wrapper, yes. So inner wrapper. No, okay. So this is another topic here, right? Because this is just to explain it. So name, whoops. Name David Thorne. All right. So that's going to come in here like this. And we're going to position the name and David Thorne in a second correctly. But we can do this. See how that looks. Okay, they're too big at the moment, but that's fine. That's because we said that they can be height 100. So we just remove that. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it needs a little bit. They need some margin. I'll say 8 top, 8 bottom. Yeah, and well, let's just say generally 8. That'll be fine. Okay, so now we have these two. The styling needs to come, but oh look, and spelling as well. That's why I don't like writing. Okay, so I'm gonna push this. Okay, there we go. I love Visual Studio Code. I'm going to push this just so anyone else that might be wanting to use it. Well, no, there's not anyone that's wanting. Right, the second that someone says, "Oh, please push this," I'm going to push it. Right. I'm not guessing that anyone's going to do it. All right. So now we're so far, right? So we've got our boxes that we want. So that means that generically speaking, our boxes nearly finished. All right. So got that now. Now we need a way of being able to inform our boxes how to create one of these, right? So our TypeScript is going to then produce, going to render this box here with our information that we tell it to show. So we need to make sure that we know how to render this information. So our app, for example, here is going to say let's try to think a good way of doing this. Because I want this app.js to be as dumb as possible. And if anything, I would much prefer this app.js to load a template file from a folder that this can generate. So essentially we would have, that's probably a good idea actually. So this here will sit inside of a template file that our Node.js has created. So we've got complete separation between Node.js and also the template itself. So we just place the information there. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we can't use Axios here. We could use Axios there, but we could just use fetch here. And if we use fetch, I need to check how we use fetch again. Sorry, my thing's in German again. As far as I remember, it is URL using fetch. Yeah, then blah, 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 blah. I believe it's text. Let's just test this now quickly. So we can say fetch here and we'll place a CSS file, will be fine. We'll just load a CSS file. I believe it's text, if right. Yeah. Was it a method? Did it say that was a method? Method, yes. So console.log my text. Look. With yeah, super. So right, this is going to be awesome now. Okay, so let's do some DOM magic here, right? There's not enough people that do this, so it's be really good. So personal data wrapper. Let's do some DOM magic. If you've just joined me, by the way, I'm making an online portfolio, which is going to be. Well, it looks like no one's listening, so I'm not even going to bother. Okay, right. Here's the clever part. Is we're going to take this personal data wrapper and we're going to place this inside of another file and we're going to load it using fetch. All right. So we're going to create a method here, and this is going to be load templates, right? And this is going to do this, this, and this. And this is going to be this as well. Let's say template name. We can't template name. We can't use Typescript here. So we want to say, first of all, objects, and we're going to say document.query selector all. And the query selector we're going to be using is this one here. And we can just spit out that. And let's plop this in here. This in here. And refresh this. And we see we've got nothing because we haven't called it. And template is then personal data. Let's call it that. We've got node list of 0 at the moment because this needs to be called in here. Let's refresh it again. I didn't get anything. Personal data wrapper. I missed that. There it is. Okay, so we had to put. All right, so now we've got the element that we wanted, right? So we're going to loop through. Well, first of all, we're going to load our template, right? And we'll say templates, and then do a bit of this. Put this template name dot HTML. All right, and this will load this, and because obviously it's going to be found and it's not going to be 404, it's going to show us everything, and we're going to then say objects dot for each, and I can't be right and swift here, box, yes, box dot inner HTML equals my text. So my template, we'll call it. Yes. Should work. Okay, now we just need templates, and let's create a template of personal. We'll call it personal data, and we'll change it in a second. Here, and personal data, and then we'll come to here, and with confidence, I'll take it out, put it in here, load template. Oh. Personal data, looks good to me. Shall see. Boom. Just to prove it, it's working. Now, I've now changed my template file, and it says James Thorne now. It says James Thorne there. So, and we can even see here that it did my request just to retrieved it. All right. So we're using the API to do it as well. So now we've got code separation, right? So now we've got essentially, and we could get even more clever with this because we don't need this class, right? What we could do is we could just say template, for example, and we'll say personal data, and we get even more clever with this. So let's now do query selector, and if I remember correctly, we have to do it in query selector all attributes is let's have a look first. I believe I have to do square brackets there. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So query selector all attributes. I believe you have to put it in square brackets. PP, it's there. Yeah. I did it in another project. This would be better for us because we're trying to. This whole point of this is creating templates. I may have skipped past this then. ID wrapped in with a div class attributed to highlights. Which class? No. Source. Did I just look at that page? So I'm going to go to my GitHub repository because I'm pretty certain put it there somewhere. Snippets. Gallery. I did it with this, I think. Pretty certain. pretty certain. There it is. Yeah, it was correct. Template, yeah. It's this, we just need that. Query, we need query select all. There it is. There it is. Okay, so now we're querying anything with, so now anything with a attribute of template is going to tell our code what the template is. So now we don't have to worry about this so much, and it will get rendered correctly. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it, but so now we can take this, for example, and we can say work experience. And there. Let's copy this actually, because this one is obviously better. Work experience, and we'll format code. Oh, okay, yeah, it is correct. So left column is then like a date, maybe. Yeah, let's say like May 2000. May 99 to April 09, and then we'll put in here Her Majesty's Armed Forces, and say British Army. Her Majesty's Armed Forces. Yeah, there we go. So, and then I can say, well, that'll do for now. Just to have that in there, and click that there. And I actually was in Her Majesty's Armed Forces, so I'm writing it as like mine. Yeah, and just to show we can remove it now. There we go. Oh, look, didn't save. Yep. So we come back to our app.js, and now we can say, don't even need the template name now, right? Because okay, so this is now objects. It can be that doesn't have a for each, if I remember rightly. Oh, it does, look. So let's just call it obj. And so we have the element, now we need the attribute. So we'll say object.gets attribute, and we're going to say template, and that's going to give us the attribute, the template name. And here we then take that out and pop that in here. We format that. Okay, so this is going to be the template name, which means we can remove this now. And then obj. So now we can say obj and then remove this like that. And it's working again. So now we can remove this, do this once, clean that up. That's querying all the objects, the templates here, and it's going to iterate through them. And then for each, then we're going to get the attribute of it, of templates, because it's already said it's got a template. So we're going to get the name of it. And if it's not a 404, yeah, which it should be, because we're writing the code and we're all awesome. There we go. Let's see, working perfectly. So now we just need to have our work experience box. So let's copy this We'll make another one called, okay, that's why that one is work experience. Yeah. Now we want to have education wrapper. So really, it's just education. Education. Let's copy this. Put in there. Education. Just gonna keep it like that for now. Skills and abilities. Let's create another one. Skills. HTML. This again. Plop that in there. Skills. Okay. So what have we got now? Skills. Education. Work experience. Cheerio. It's gone. Okay. And let's refresh this. And we've got 4 boxes now. Skills. And our HTML now is really template now. Cool. It's nice and clean. Now we've got the individual templates, right? Let's remove all of these. Okay, so now we have, let's remove these colors because they're disgusting. Right, it's looking good. So now we just need to know that we can render our templates. Well, I need a drink. All right, and I think this is probably enough for the time being to created. I need to add all these. Created basic. Templates. Fine. So that's now pushed. What's here? Why is it taking so long? Anyway, continuing. All right. Well, it seems that no one's watching, so I'm going to take a quick stand-up stretch because I've been sat down for like an hour now, maybe. How long has this been going? I've no idea. I'm going to take a quick stand-up stretch. It's the worst thing about doing programming. Well, if you do programming as a profession, you tend to find that your back hurts after a few months if you don't stretch all the time. So it's really, really worthwhile standing up and doing some stretches after an hour or after half an hour, making sure that you've stretched your back, stretched your neck, shoulders, because otherwise you spend years and years doing it and your back and your shoulders and your arms, and you just get so much pain. It sounds silly, but okay. So let's keep going. We so now we have that. Now we have our templates, and if you have just joined, right, go to my GitHub, David Thorne /online-CV, and I've literally just pushed it a minute ago, so you can then have a look at this and do this by yourself, right? And if you want to continue with it, then you can. So we've created our basic. Where were we? We're here. Yeah, we've now created our basic 4 templates. Now we need to concentrate on loading the actual model data, right? So let's start with loading personal information. So now we need to have in our resources models, yeah, models, not like Heidi Klum and so on. So models, and this is going to be let's think about which one we're doing first. Well, we're doing personal information first, all right? And if we come here, then we want to know that it's in the correct order. And so we want to know that these boxes can be able to identify what's a new line without having to actually say new line feed, right? So we want to know that it goes line after line. So we want to have, let's say, models. Did that folder get created? Yes, it is. Okay, so personal data, and I'm kind of tempted to create this as a JavaScript file. Is that bad? No, I'm going to create it as a JSON. Definitely going to do JSON. So we want to have, it wants to be an array, right, of items, okay? And it's going to have the key is going to be in this situation, so it's going to be name. So I want to know that they're ordered, and value equals let's do it. We'll check. We'll check. We'll allow this to be a string or an array of strings. Okay. Yeah, we'll allow this to be a string or an array of strings. It's address, and so we'll come here and do address, and then we can do this, for example, and say my fake streets 77. Well, we'll just do 44234. It's not my postcode, but I live in Dortmund. And Dortmund is then NRV, and that is Deutschland. So yeah, that's what we want to be loading, right? So let's come here and say it can be that we actually don't need this Node.js part because we're kind of doing it here. All right, so load model. Yeah, and yeah, I want to know that these are dynamic, apart from that, which is going to be its own individual thing. Yeah. Okay, so once again, we're going to say model. This is equal to personal data again. We could just give this a generic name, right? But we're not going to for the time being. So we're going to say, oops, no, we're going to copy this again. We want it on this here, right, on this templates. So once we've got the templates, yeah. Okay, so once we've got the template here, do we need the template, right? If we're building this dynamically, okay, it might be that we don't need this template right now. So we could just probably null and void this completely. Yeah, because that's where our key's going to go. That's where our name's going to go, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Well, this here is fine. What we've got. So now that we've got our template, now we've got a template here. Let's yes. Okay. So, but we can still use this. So we can use then we're going to say it's a model HTML. So this model is going to be this here, right? That's what we're going to load. And in here, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to say key. But this should be allowed. Okay, we're going to have to we're going to have to change this for the value, right? So this is going to have to allow to have more than one item, but that's fine. That's all the CSS here. Okay, so key value. Stay with me. Stay with me. Now we have our template, right? Now we have our templates, and with this template, we want to be able to insert. So with this template, we now want to be able to insert our key and our value into here. Where is this key and this value coming from? You're asking. The key and value is coming from here, and we're going to load this JSON file, which is then going to load this array, and it's going to iterate through all of the items, and it's going to copy the key into that key place, and it's going to copy all this name. Now, when we get to this array, that's where we're going to create another individual set of items to go inside of it. All right, so it's no problem. This is why we're going to be loading this, and I suppose we should make like an order one. We'll say, yeah. Let's give it an order as well, just in case. It should be populated with this one being the first one, this one being the second one, but just in case. Okay, so now that we've got our template, we want to be able to insert data, and with this we can use. We're going to have to rename this async and load model. This is where it's going to get tricky, right? So we want to have this. Move this model name. This then goes to models. JSON. Turn JSON. And this then There's JSON. Okay, good. Okay, so load model or model name. This is going to just return what we want. This is returning the promise that we want. So now, but it means now that we can get rid of this, and let's use that there. Model equals load model, and we're saying template name. Yeah. And with this, we can now say awaits. This should, if I've done it correctly, spit out our model. Await is only valid in async function. Yeah, that's why I changed it. Yeah, but it's there. It's there. Work experience not found. That's fine. Perfectly fine. So let's copy, paste. Work experience. Just done by terminal skills. Paste education. Education. Yes, it should be all of them. I think. Whatever. So now that's fine. The data's gone there, but now we're loading all of the relevant information for it. So now we want to get rid of this one, this one, this one, this one. This is going quicker than I thought. Actually, it might not seem it. Okay, so now we've got our object, right? Sorry, our templates. My templates. Now we just need. Whoops. Now we just need to place, and it's easier, in my opinion, to do it this way. Place all join keys, and no, sorry, we want to have splits. That join with model key, right? And that's my templates. And then this thing goes here. There. There it is. Okay, but that doesn't mean to say that it's actually working correctly at the moment. It didn't, no, it's not working correctly because we just wanted the model HTML, right? So it meant that we wanted this here. So we've got a comma, right? So again, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's not spitting out multiple items. So we've got our model and the key. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we know that our model is an array. So these are models. And this is a model. We want to be able to, yeah. Okay, so this is, we're then going to have a template data is going to be an empty string in the beginning, right? And every single time, because we've got more than one item, you'll understand this in a second if you're not at the moment. We've got more than one item, so it means we need to create a template for every single item, and we need to put that into, we need to concatenate it to this template data, and template data will then get added to here, right? And we're going to use this my templates here to actually create our template there. And so, but we don't want to change my template. We want to create template item here, and then we'll say template data plus equals template item. There we go. Look at that. All right, now we've just got to do the value. Item, template item. And this one's going to get a little bit tricky now. It's got an array there, but that's all right. Just put it all together in. Yeah, that's fine. Put it all together. So now we need to find a way of, well, I hope everyone's understanding this, but we need our title. This is the other thing. So we need to know that we've got our title. So this model template is gonna, yeah, good. We can do this for the time being. Yes. Template name. Yeah, they're all going to be education for the time being. Until we get a title. But it's coming along. So now we've got a. Okay, so if you've joined later, this is what we're basically building at the moment. We're building this dynamically based upon loading JSON data and so on. There. Right. Now we need a way of getting the title. So we've got the object, so we can just come to here, and we're just going to say let's load templates here. Model, we don't need, the model name is not even required. No, okay, so it means we can remove this model here because we didn't use it. Oops. Let's do a title, right? Personal information. Now we're kind of like doing a little bit of React here, you know, with work experience. Yeah. Okay. And it's in there. then save it. Is it saved? Yes. Yep, good. So we've got the title now. And we can just come here. Education. Oops, no, didn't want that. Thought in my head and I was doing it whilst, yeah. Okay, so now we have the different boxes all being loaded. I'm thinking we could take this one step even further, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. Okay, so let's keep on thinking. We've now need to make personal data for template here. So our value needs to be, this needs to be more of, say, let's make it a span. Yeah, okay. Yes. Need to go to CSS. Okay, this we need to copy that there. Space flex, row direction is column. Flex start, yes. Stretch, yes. So now we know that it's gonna create our items in it. All right. So means that when we put stuff in here, so we're gonna values. So we need to create this. So we need to say values. Values equals model dot value. Let's do this quickly. Equal to string. Pretty certain that's the correct syntax. Then model dot value. Else model value. Okay. So now yeah. Values boxes equals, now we know it's an array, so now we can map it and we'll return span for now. This is then join nothing. Should be fine. That should work. Was easy. I didn't practice this stuff, all right? This is just, it's not difficult. Just needs a little bit of thinking about how to do. And once you do it a few times, then okay, so that's done now. Now essentially, I mean, so the only thing left is really like to say style, right? So it can have like sub items maybe. Okay. So it means that if So, okay, let's go back to this model, right? So I can try and explain what I'm thinking. Is that when we look here, this one has unordered list, right? So one of the items in here can be a string, but this next item, for example, could be an array, and that might want to be like an unordered list. So I think that this is going. This is a if the item is a string, let it be a string. If it's key value, yeah, let's just do if it's an object. So you can do key value with inside of a key value. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so let's do this. Create a third one. And let's say test. Okay. First, let's just say first line, and then here go 3. Then here is again key so this is going to be that line there, right? So let's copy this there. That's the first line. The second line is going to be this. So that's the key here. And the value in this situation is going to be an unordered list. And there they want to have that there. And this here. Like that, right? So these are going to be unordered list items. So now we just need to check what type this is. So if it's a string, then do that and return that. Otherwise, this is going to be span. Otherwise, so easiest way to get rid of this first of all is if type of I is equal to string. Oops. Always get rid of the easy cases first. All right. Return this. Simple. Get rid of it. All right. And trust in, have faith in what you do. Right. The values in this one here, it's going to be an object, right? So this one has got to be if type of I is equal to objects, then it has to have this same format. And in theory, what I should be doing is taking this method here and using recursion. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. In the model. And it just needs to return values boxes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, just the values. All right, so essentially, it's just going to do this. This is what's getting rendered. Okay, and let's come to here. So we can remove this. Yeah. If we were using TypeScript here, then we would get a bit better. So it's all okay. It's just yeah. This is the bit that we need to fix. All right, because we didn't return anything here for the object. So if it is a type of object, then we know it's a model, right? So we can use recursion. We can just say I. There it is. But if it is, if they are eyes, then we want to know that it was an unordered list here. So we want to know that these are, I don't want to use an unordered list. I want it to seem like an unordered list, but I don't want to use the horrible list style types and so on. So we need a way of telling this to render. Well, that's okay. Okay, this is fine. We've got the key is gonna get done there. Yeah, that's fine. Values. Let's say it's UL, right? Right, we know that the second time it's coming here, so we want to. So okay, good. Then we'll just say tag. If UL is equal to undefined, then it's going to be span. Else is UL is equal to UL is true, then li, otherwise span. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to say true as well here. And then from here, oh, my mouse. And create in that tag. Come back here. Tag again. Should be good. So now, if it's an object, we can say maybe that doesn't care about it. So if good. Is UL equals true. There we go. Nice and simple. Because it'll, if this isn't, yeah. Easiest way to fix this. And this is model is UL. That'll be undefined. Still came out as a span. When did I just update then? Project manager. Oh, there we go. That's fine. Didn't notice that. Okay, yeah, the project manager key didn't get shown. That's right. Okay, small bug. That's fine. What's up? Hello. How are you doing? Do you have any questions? Do you want me to re-explain what I'm doing? I think there's like delay in the chat and then everything. So I'm just going to wait until see if I get a reply. And if not, I'll explain it anyway, what I'm doing. So this here is a in German Lebenslauf. So in English, this is a curriculum vitae. It's a thing for a job and so on. So this is a pretty cool website that helps you to create your CV. So what I want to be able to do is have a online portfolio that I just want to say that I feel thanks for your Twitter. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice that you say thanks. I was just bored, to be honest with you. So I thought I'd just sit here and do some programming. And it seemed like a nice, simple project that other people might want to watch. And it doesn't take too long. I mean, I'm now maybe like an hour and a half or something, or 2 hours into this, and it's not far off being finished now. I mean, it's probably like another hour away, maybe. But you know, the technical part of it is nearly done, and then the rest is just like making it look nicer. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Thank you very much for your feedback. So, which country you're from? I'm guessing you're from Japan, China. Sorry for my ignorance there. Okay, so this render model hasn't got, that's why, because it's personal data. South Korea. Okay, awesome. What time is it there at the moment? Okay, the problem is because it's got a key, it's got a value. Look, that's why it's. No, it's not. That's not why. It's this. 6 a.m. Wow, you're just about to go to work, are you? Okay, so that's G. Yeah, the Twitter videos aren't essentially finished. It went so far, and then I decided to give up because not many people were watching it. I'm still making project cloning Twitter for my project. Yeah, good. It'd be nice if you can continue it and finish it, and fork it and then let me know, and then see how far you got with it, and then maybe I can do another video tomorrow. I don't know. So 6 a.m. in Korea now. I'm looking at South Korea. Okay. Okay. So it's going through the first key and then it's creating the second key. So I've got a kind of problem here because it's value is not recognized. Let's have a look at this. The model is getting loaded. Where's the model again? Right. Model's here, and it's going through render model. Yeah, it's only, yeah. Strings, values. Okay, that's why, because we're not checking if it's an object here, right? So we're only checking that we're making an array here, but we're assuming that confused myself here. Confused myself. Okay. This one's fine. This one's fine. This one's fine. So if it's a string, do this. Otherwise, it will take a value. Now that value is not an array. Oops. That value is not an array. So this doesn't. It's an object again. So we need to know that. This value is only for if it's an array. Okay, so we just want to say if model.value I'm going to do it here. I'm going to check it here. It's type of string. And I'm going to make this undefined. So if values is equal to undefined, then I'm going to do nothing for the time being. It's maybe taking it too far otherwise. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore, just for the sake of continuing, I'm going to ignore that and we'll do it later. Otherwise we get stuck. We get stuck on you too. Okay, I was just reading the chat then. Otherwise, we get stuck on the small details, and this is the most dangerous part of programming is getting stuck on the small details. That's working again, so now we know it's all right. So they can come in like version 2, you know. Good stuff. Yeah. But we need the title as well. So person's name, header. I'm really tired now. Right, I'm going to stop it for today. Unless there's anyone else that actually wants to see me work any further today. Right, you've got like maybe 1 minute to comment to say that I should continue for today because I'm getting quite tired. And if someone says no, David, please please continue for some time, then I will continue. But if I don't get a response on the chat, then I will call it a night and I will probably continue this project tomorrow. Otherwise, someone is more than welcome to finish it for me. Okay. Anyway, I'll start cleaning it up. I'll start saving the code. Added models. Let's have a look. Do we need to clean anything else up? No. That's fine. This. Yeah. Edit models. Okay, anyway, the code has been updated and saved. So I'm going to finish for today because I'm tired now. Actually, I've already done 9.5 hours programming at work today. Yeah, well, there was a bulk of it. Bulk of it's got done, and there's enough in this video to show people how you can kind of do it. This was not rocket science, but if you're a beginner, then you've learned a little bit of JavaScript. What else have you learned? A little bit of DOM manipulation as well here. You've learned how to use fetch also. You've learned async and await, why we had to do it this way. How to iterate with high order functions. Okay, learn how to search and replace. Like just replacing the first thing doesn't work. You have to. This is just a simple hack to be able to do like a replace all. Yeah, that's it. Right. If you were watching, thank you very much. If you have just joined, I'm sorry to say that I'm finishing now because it's 11:35 at night time and I have to go to work tomorrow and I'm tired. And unless you want to pay my salary, then I wish you then a good night. That's the wrong one. I shall speak and see you soon. Good night.